Welcome to the Masterclass on the bouncer. I'm Nasser Hussain. I'm joined by Ian Bishop, former West Indian fast bowler. Bish, what is a bouncer? Where do you have to land it? Where are you looking it for end up on a batsman?
Well, this is one of the most enjoyable masterclasses ever, to be quite honest with you, because what I'm trying to do with the bouncer is to get the ball to arrive, first of all, at my target, which is you, between the shoulder and head height, because anything above there will be wided an extra run. Now, in order to do that, Nasser, I'm looking to hit the ball halfway down. But I want guys or girls to look at a specific spot, not just say a wide area, I'm hitting the ball in there. Look at a specific spot, because that length will be determined by the height of the bowler, the pace of the bowler, and the pace and bounce of the pitch. It could be margin for error if you don't gauge that.
And also, I guess, the height of a batsman and batter, because if you're going to have a bouncer to Kevin Peterson, it's going to have a certain length. And if you're going to have a bouncer to Sachin Tendulkar, it's going to be a different length. How much do you factor that in?
Yes, you have to factor that in big time, because as I said before, you miss it, it goes above the head. The line of it too, in addition to all of that, is it right shoulder, is it left shoulder? Because left shoulder, it gets pulled and hooked, attempted behind square if the pull or the hook comes in. Right shoulder in front of square. But that all depends on pace. You can have the quick bouncer or slower bouncer in white ball cricket.
And that is a way to finish the game. Another nasty lifting bouncer from Archer. He is quick and too quick for tail enders.
When do you know to bowl a bouncer, and do you pick batsmen that you know this player can't play the short ball?
You definitely research your batters. That's standard in modern day cricket. If it's someone that I can bowl an attacking bouncer to. What do I mean by an attacking bouncer? Someone who will fend at the bouncer and maybe glove it to the keeper or slip, or someone who will attack the bouncer. So I want to bowl a defensive bouncer and get that batter to hit it to my fielder. So those are the equations based on research. Sometimes feel. I can look at you and I can smell the blood. Sorry. The great fast bowlers will smell fear in a batter. So that is also one of the great feels of the game.
The other thing I've noted is that, is there any kind of change in run-up or action? Because if you look at Jofra Archer as an example, one thing we've all noted about Archer is his bouncer, his action is virtually the same as his pitch-up delivery, and that's why he hurries people. People aren't expecting it. There are no telltale signs.
Yeah. In days gone by or years gone by, batsmen would read bowlers by the impetus in their run-up. These bowlers now are so good, and someone like an Archer doesn't have to bowl it as short as other bowlers because it's a very upright action. Lockie Ferguson will be a little bit shorter because he falls away and he's a shorter type of bowler.
The other thing about the bouncer is the pace of a bouncer. You mentioned the slower ball bouncer. I know as a batter, if you're facing a 140k compared to a 130k, there's a lot of time difference there. You've got a bit more time with the 130k to put it away. 140, it really hurries you. Can any bowler bowl a bouncer, or do you need to be genuinely fast?
If the bowler is genuinely fast, it's an added advantage that you cannot pick up at the supermarket, because batters train so often to get onto that front foot, as you would know, and launch the ball with all their power. Only a specific few play so well off the back foot, but the slower bowler and the slower bouncer has its place in terms of deception. So I would say anyone can bowl it, but it's so much more effective at high pace above 140. The quicker the bowler, I think it's more effective from a bowler's point of view. How does a batter see it and dealing with the short ball?
Well, first thing, you've got to try and get any kind of signal. We've mentioned Archer there. There may not be a change in his action, but you've got to keep an eye on the skipper. If suddenly a leg gully is coming in, if suddenly a short leg is coming in, you know they have chatted and you think, well, hold on, there's no mid-off, no mid-on. They could be targeting my ribs or my throat or my head area. So you've got to be expecting it. But I still believe that what the bowler wants you to do is be back waiting for a bouncer, because then the surprise ball comes. As Michael Holding has always said, it's not the bouncer that gets you out, it's the ball after the bouncer when you're hanging back. So I think you've got to have a similar technique, and you've got to make a decision. Are you going to take it on, or are you going to ride it? And that will depend on the field. If there's 3 men back, that is a very dangerous. 2 behind square. We played against South Africa. Alan Donald came in at the Wanderers with 3 men back. And we were all having a happy hook, and it was all getting caught in the deep. And our coach, Duncan Fletcher, was going, what are they doing? So that is a high-risk shot. The other thing is, I don't think anyone really plays the bouncer particularly well. Steve Waugh, we used to play against Steve Waugh. We bounced him all the time. And Steve Waugh used to ride it, hit his ribs, fall short of short leg gully. He very rarely got out to it. So just because you look uncomfortable doesn't mean that that bouncer is going to get you out. The one that I thought played it the best was Mark Butcher. And what Butch did, the moment the bouncer went in, obviously he was left-handed, the moment the bouncer went in, Butch just went like that. Next bouncer went in like that. And you big lads, takes it a lot out of you, doesn't it, bowling the bouncer? And once Butch just got underneath every one of them, the bowlers just went, there's no point bowling bouncers to Mark Butcher.
Some of us could bowl it all day.
Didn't we know that?